Yo dudes, how's it going? Hope everyone's safe and well, and let's start back doing as many videos as we can. So in this video, what we're going to do is, originally I think it was the first video or second video I ever did, I removed the bulkhead out of the van completely. What we're going to do in this one is cut it and then refit it so there's not a gap in the sides here. So I'll show you what's going on in the side there, but we're basically going to cut it, refit it and make it look a lot nicer than it is. We're going to have to use the carpet to cover it to make it like a nice finish. The suede stuff just isn't flexible enough to like reach around, like there's some difficult corners and things like that. So the suede isn't stretchy enough, so we're going to use the carpet, which will probably be like a nice cut off anyway between the back and the front. But I'll show you what that's like and then we'll jump in the video. So this gap here, so you can see what I mean when I'm talking about it. So after we've cut the bulkhead, essentially it'll just be the piece here that's left that'll go over and go into the side and smooth all this off, so it looks like it's properly finished rather than just being a gap on each side. Essentially a job that I could have done ages ago, but I figured I'd get the bulk of the work done and then move on to like finishing off and tidying up bits and pieces. And then obviously we've got the cabin to do, depend upon sort of how far I want to go into that and things. So plenty of things that we can do and work on. But yeah, that's today's video. We're going to fill in that gap by cutting the bulkhead. So let's go. So the first cut's just going to be a rough cut, so I've got a better idea of what I'm working with. And what I've figured out basically is I cut downwards along here and follow it all the way through to about here, and then turn it over, because this bit here is a different place to this bit here. So if I follow this, I'll basically cut through this. So once I've got to that point, I'll turn it over and cut down and join up with my other cut on the other side, if that makes sense. Once I've done that and I've got the rough cut, I've then got a piece similar to this, which I can then, it's easier to maneuver, I can see what I'm doing better and I can go through and tidy up the edge. So we'll get this one done first of all, so they're both looking like this, and then afterwards we'll tidy up the edge, make it nice, ready for putting it back in the van. Now we've got these two bits that have been cut off, and it's just a case of now trimming it so that is totally flush and that ridge doesn't exist, and making sure that I don't go over the back end. And this is the bit that's going to take its time, but obviously now I've got rid of the bulk of it, I can see what I'm doing a lot better, take my time a bit easier and be more knowledgeable in actually getting the finish, or fingers crossed hopefully getting the finish where I want it to be. Okay, so we've done a second closer pass now and we're kind of getting there, but I don't want to be using the angle grinder anymore on it, because just for what I'm doing it's not very precise. So I don't have a Dremel, so what I'm going to try to use is a sander and see if I can sand this bit flat, and if I can sand this bit flat and get a nice smooth surface, then I'm ready for the next stage. I ended up biting the bullet and just going and buying one. And yeah, basically invaluable. So yeah, now it's time to get the material on, and hopefully I can get it around all those awkward little angles. Also my GoPro's decided to do SD card error again, so it'll just be, I'll do it and then I'll just show you when it's done. Okay, so this is where we're at. done a bit of sanding. It's not the smoothest, but it's going to get covered over anyway, and there's a bit of cushioning within the material, so that should hide it.